Woke up inspired this morning, and I do write poetry and spoken word and things like that, but I've never shared it on my social media. But it was something that I felt like I needed to get off my spirit. It's fresh on my phone, so I'm going to read it from there. But if you have a teacher that fits within these guidelines, I need you to share or tag them in this video, because I know if I needed to hear it, I'm pretty sure that there's teachers out there that really need to hear these words. And it's called Teachers, the First Line of Defense. It's my first time doing this, so bear with me. Whew. All right. Teachers, good teachers, the most profound individuals on this earth, the people who have to know who they are, because otherwise, how can they teach another child to know their worth? We're a rare breed indeed. We may not get the pay we need to feed our own families, but we rise at the crack of dawn, preparing for everything that could go wrong while still teaching our kids that no matter what, they have to believe. We are much more than late nights grading papers, parent meetings, creating rigorous lesson plans, pointless PDs, Bloom's taxonomy, and IEPs. A paycheck doesn't define our purpose to teachers like you and me, because you see, we know what our purpose is, and a salary does not fit in the parameters in the grander scheme of things, because we will sacrifice whatever need be in order to make sure that each and every one of our babies succeeds. This is not a job. This is a profession with a purpose. It doesn't get the credit that it deserves, but you know that it's worth it when 4 years down the line, we get that call from that one student that says that I got accepted to the college of my dreams. And the only thing that it seems that we can sincerely respond by saying is, hell yes, baby, that's perfect. We are the ones that fear for our youth, as if we bore them from our own flesh and hurt. And we cry in agony whenever we learn that we lost even one to a 6-foot cell or 6 feet of dirt. We begin to question ourselves. What more could I have done for them? Didn't they know that I believed in them if nobody else did? Why is this world stacking up the odds against my babies? Because they are the future and they didn't deserve this. When you can feel that type of pain and regret for a child that you did not carry in your womb for 9 months, but they sat in your room for 9 months, then you know you are a good teacher. We have the greatest responsibility as educators. We are the profession that will create all others. We teach more lessons than a state standard could ever cover. We wear so many hats and play so many roles that we deserve an Oscar, but make no mistake that this is no act. We are the doctor that heals and the therapist that hears. We are the lawyer that defends and the judge that condemns if need be. We are the mother that works 4 jobs in order to make ends meet. We fill the role of the father that abandoned them and makes them ask questions like, man, Miss G, why didn't he want me? We are much more than a homeroom. We are a room that makes a home. We dedicate our last full measure of devotion to ensure that every child has a fair shot worth the while. But the reality is, the harsh reality is, we can't protect them outside of our own 4 walls. So make no mistake about what you're teaching. You are not teaching your babies their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s. You are not teaching Pythagorean theorem, how subject and verbs agree, history or chemistry. You are teaching little boys and girls how to rise from their knees and be everything that they dreamed that they could be, but never in a million years thought that they would ever see. You are the first line of defense in the world that does not really wish to see our babies think logically, critically, analytically, or creatively. You are the first line of defense in a world filled with hate, injustice, and poverty. You are the one that looks a child in the eye and says, you mean more to me than a name on a roster, that I want nothing more from you than to live free and prosper. In a world filled with conformity, you are purposely unique. I encourage your individuality, and I am not your enemy. Everything that I want for you is everything that I didn't get from me, and forever, I will always live in your successes vicariously. You are the first line of defense when our own government systematically oppresses minorities and the poor, when they remove social studies from the curriculum so they will not question the power nor want more. We require our babies only to pass English and math, so upon graduation, the only job that they can get is picking up the scraps left by the elites on the floor. And when they turn to the streets to make ends meet, then the only thing they give them is a mugshot and a rap sheet. And let's not even mention those with a mental disability, because you can forget any help from a mental health facility. We are educators. And my baby is not a statistic used as a political ploy to pretend you care about my community. I do not need you to tell me that my students are at risk. I already know this, and I'm protecting them from people like you. I don't need you labeling them based upon their score on a flawed paper test that they are basic. They are more than that number. But then again, after all, this is only a business to you. We teachers do not need crooked politicians making money off of lies, because the only business that we're in is the business of changing lives. Learn it and love it. Educators, you are the first line of defense in a world that is trying to influence our babies to exercise ignorance instead of common sense. You are the first line of defense in a world that is trying to teach our babies not to live, but to merely exist. So remember your purpose. Then again, my good teachers, we already know this. And if you know nothing else, know that no matter what, you're making a difference. Teach your life.